Hello, my name is Anne and I'd like to invite you into my home. I live on my own, basically. I live independently on my own and I adore living in Dorset. I've also invited a very dear friend of mine who is an OT. We were talking over coffee one day and we just thought we'd like to share some experiences with you. What we're going to share with you today is actually some adaptations and some aids that I have in my kitchen.
Put this down here. Traffic heavy? No.
I became disabled. It was quite a shock. It happened in the early hours of New Year's Day. That would have been 1994. And I just had a complete collapse. I couldn't do anything for myself. It was really quite a mystery. And as it turned out, years later, it is a hereditary condition that I have. My mother has it, my sister and my brother are also suffering now. It was devastating because it meant that my lifestyle had completely changed. It meant that I could not do the one thing that I thought that I could manage extremely well and was successful at, as being a mum, being a homemaker, being a provider. All of that was swept away, literally, overnight. And it was hard, very hard. If it's going to be a fairly good day, then I know that I need to get what I need done very quickly. And then spend the rest of the day just carrying out tasks as they would come along. On a bad day, it would be very bad. I would not, as I've said before, not be able to do a thing for myself. When I was first unwell, I had an OT who had a husband who had been in a car accident, and so he was in a wheelchair or a wheelchair user, so she had her home adapted for him. So I was really lucky to have actually, it's just the way things turn out sometimes, and she knew exactly what I needed. She had very, very forward visions. They didn't all quite pan out, but certainly the one aspect that has is the kitchen. The oven is eye level for me in a wheelchair, so I can use it as a wheelchair user, or I can use it standing if I need to. A roller drawer, which is a roller table, which is really has been the saving grace. It's the sinks. I have two sinks out there. One's very shallow so that I don't get my cuffs wet when I'm washing up. The other one obviously for soaking or for doing normal things. But again, it meant that my family could be here and not feel they were living in an adapted home for a disabled person. The worktops are at two different levels. You wouldn't notice it by the way they were put in. And lots of other adaptations. The sink, when I sit at the sink or stand at the sink with my stool, has got a recess so that you wouldn't know that it was there, but it is actually there. It's just moving the cupboards just that further bit backwards. Floor standing units are all drawers, which again make it so much easier because you can't reach the back of a cupboard. Prized possession as well is a hob. It's shaped in a half crescent, and this means that I'm not going to be burning myself when I'm cooking. I'm not putting my arm over a flame. But again, it means that I can just drag the food off, drag the saucepans off, or I can use the collapsible baskets that I've got to actually take the food out of the saucepans. As you go around my home, I'd like to think that you wouldn't think that it's really over-adapted and it's not made to look clinical. It's a home that welcomes my friends and my family.